Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to Warzy Roundtable number 6. And so, starting off, did you guys see Autorun is now enabled? Just hit numlock. And so, have any of you tried it? You guys are here, and by the way, those of you who are watching live, you can join us. I'll post the link here. Oops, that's not the link. Oh my! Have either you guys that are here currently, have you tried it?
Not yet.
I have.
And it's not really that exciting, is it?
No, I still think laying something on my shift key is a much better option.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's not auto run; it's auto walk. And I think they got it named wrong. So
Probably.
yeah. So I was thinking that my pinball here, which is my bot, which I don't know if you guys have seen that episode, but this is my bot. You can get it. You can buy the bot on eBay for a couple of bucks. And I just set that on the shift key, and that's all I use. Yeah, and I was disappointed to see that it wasn't actually a run. So, yep. So I had to give him crap about that. Okay, so we've got a few people here. We've got Inferno Arc, we've got Karma.
Yep.
And is that Real Interlec?
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, we, in the last week, there is something that's happened that's been going on that I've noticed, which I actually am very appreciative of with the game. And that is that there has been... after they got things cleaned up after the hacking of the forums, it's been pretty consistent with communication with us and with putting in new features and bug fixes. I think it's been pretty regular.
Yeah.
And to me, at least, it feels good. How does it feel to you guys?
Since they've been out, it just seems like they're making more of an effort to try and get in touch with people.
I agree.
I personally play every day. I was a huge member of the forums. I unfortunately got banned, but that's not what this is about.
Banned from the forums or banned from the game?
Forums, not the game.
Okay.
And I just purely think that somewhat this won't last. That's just my personal opinion.
So the forums, because of the forums disappearing, what you're saying is that was actually a big loss to the community.
Oh yeah, I mean, for 2 weeks, purely there was nowhere for the Warzy community to really go other than Twitch, and that had a huge increase of viewers, but. I mean, that's not completely bad because now streamers have a much larger viewer base, but I mean, when I purely think about it, it was pretty bad for the community. A lot of people who were banned on the previous forums were able to return, so there was a lot more trolls. There was also just a real lack of understanding towards and in between the community. A lot of the people who were raging came back onto the forums. A lot of the people didn't really want to actually help Hammerpoint, and I tried to be as positive as I could, but there were some things that I didn't agree with that they introduced to the game, and that unfortunately, resulted in problems.
So you're being banned from the forums. Do you think your banning was just? Did you deserve it?
No, probably not.
And were you banned for speaking the truth, or were you banned for getting really emotional about your opinions?
I spoke the truth, facts.
Interesting. So that is, it's hard to I guess it's hard to argue that stuff, hard to dispute it and everything, because the facts often get removed when a person is banned. So whatever your posts were are probably gone.
Yeah.
Well, usually they link you when something like that happens. But unfortunately, in my case, they just gave me 10 infraction points and said that I was trolling, flaming, and causing controversy. So I don't purely know what specific thing I was banned for.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make a new forum account, that's circumventing a ban, so you get IP banned in the end. And I just thought I'll just cop the ban and move on, just play the game.
Right. Yeah. It's got to be disheartening, though, to be banned in the forums of a game you love.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, issues are going to occur, and I was quite passionate about the game, but when it came to what I was saying, I didn't let my emotions cloud my judgment. I basically thought, a lot of things have happened, and I just don't purely agree with them. It's, everything's about boosting the marketplace, and Jeep was talking about this last week. And I've done a lot more thinking, and a lot of it is about boosting the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, how do you guys? Have any of you guys? I see that they introduced a new character model, the paramedic.
Yeah.
Now, have any of you guys elected to delete one of your characters so you could use this paramedic character?
I don't really see the point in spending another 500 GC just on a character. It just seems like the whole thing they're trying to do is just earn more money out of people.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is, I guess, for new people who are starting the free character slot, they might, use it if they like the look of it. But to me, it's like all of my character slots are full. I have 3 accounts, and all of my character slots on all 3 accounts are full. And all of them have skill points that they've earned, and so why would I want to delete one of those so that I could use this new character?
Well, this has been suggested many times on the forums, and people just want character customization. And I think you should put a limit on it, so you can only change your character maybe 2 times, their actual physical appearance or their skin. And when it comes to name changes, maybe 3 times maximum. A lot of people have even suggested just like a $100, not $100, 100 GC, sorry, like for a name change. But they basically said that they weren't planning it.
Interesting.
But I don't see why not.
I think that you're onto something there. I mean, really, there's a lot of us that make a mistake with our characters, and we don't realize it because we're very inexperienced whenever we make them, especially when you're making them right when you first started the game. I mean, I'm already, I have deleted a couple of my characters early on because I realized that I just didn't do it the way I wanted. But that was from inexperience, and I think that a lot of people would use a reconfigure once or whatnot, and that really each character should have, or at least each account should have one, redo of their character and another redo of their name or whatever for free, and then after that, if they want to, have us pay for it, whatever gold coins that the market seems to think is reasonable, then I'm all for that.
Well, I don't really understand it either. I mean, it's really disadvantaging the early players of the game because they just can't experience what new players can get straight off the bat.
Yeah, but there is no there's no advantage in game to using a newer character. It's not like the female characters are thinner than the male characters, and it's not like when you're shooting at them, is there any less mass to hit? It's just a thought. I don't think that there's any actual actual technical advantage to one character over the other way, the way they look, other than I have one character that has this bright red shirt on, and all I think of every time I run him around is, "Hey, I'm a target, shoot me!" It's as bad as wearing the fireman helmet.
They should like give like the people, like the girls or something, like a speed advance or something, like or a like just some kind of advancement for each character, because you're spending about a 500 and something GC on just looks.
Yeah, you know,
There's
actually,
really no point for that.
that's not a bad idea. I think that's a neat idea. You know, what if female characters, you know, were more agile or whatever, and what if male characters had a little bit more endurance and could hold a heavier pack, and the paramedic character was able to heal himself or others at a little bit higher level. You know, that whole thing. You know, a different trait. It's almost like races. You know, in you know, like WoW and stuff like that. You choose your different configuration based on the skills and everything.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
I just think because this game's a little more competitive. I mean, I'm not saying WoW PvP is anything bad, but when push comes to shove, the paramedic character would probably be the one that would shine.
Yeah, if they were able to heal themselves just a little bit better. So, you know, you don't have to make it a big advantage, just a little one, you know.
Well, even if it's 10%, I mean, that'll go a long way. That's one bullet.
I guess you're right. But that's all part of game balance. I mean, just when you're fighting a druid compared to, you know, a warrior or whatnot, the druid is, you know, maybe going to be able to take more damage from healing, but the warrior can have more armor. So it's just a thought. It's something that I think would be neat to see in the game, but I can see balance issues too. But those issues could all be worked out.
Just gotta be careful that I don't nerf other characters.
Well, they got to be careful of nerf in general, and that has been one major issue with the War Z is nerfing, and you know, really, I think a lot of the games that are created that have very experienced teams in MMOs have been through the whole nerf conundrum before, and know how to kind of set things up properly. That, you know, you give everybody very low abilities in the beginning and stuff, and so that you don't have to take something back down, because when you have to take it back down, everybody feels nerfed. But if you had to raise something up, like let's say there was a character that was just a little bit under all the other character types, and then you boost its skills just a little bit, they've been given a gift, and nobody else really complains because their characters aren't affected. But if you were to reduce another character in any area, that player feels beat up or feels picked upon, and so you know, it's just I wish that they would figure that out. And I think that's just part of being a more immature company when it comes to MMOs. So.
Well, since the beta and like the alpha, they've not actually got the characters right. So obviously, some were overpowered than others, and like some people could do better with other characters. If that makes sense.
So, spawn protection. Last week we noticed it was very glowy.
Yeah, I thought that was just a glitch.
Still is.
Well, now they say that it's less visible now. Would you say it's an improvement, or is it still an issue? Can you still see them across the map?
It's at
It's
about
still easy to see.
25%. So, well, here's my opinion. It's at about 25% of what it used to be. In nighttime, you can notice it still pretty well. I think that'll always be an issue, but during the day, you can hardly tell if someone has spawn protection, and that becomes an issue in itself. So it's really a balance. I think once the game sort of hits a certain time of the day, maybe they should change how much you glow.
Change the graphic just a little bit.
It should
Yeah.
really just say like a timer at the top of your screen saying spawn protection and then how long you've got it for.
Well, I do think I think there is some reason to show other players around that the person is protected. Because I dumped out. Can't tell you how many times before they put this in altogether that I dumped out a whole clip of ammo, shooting somebody, to find that they were still invulnerable. So. Yeah. Okay. Well, Karma. I like your. Was that Karma? You said that idea that they should just adjust it a little bit for night and a little bit brighter in the day, a little bit darker in the night. Yeah. So I like that idea. I think that's a good suggestion.
I originally thought they were just going to put like an icon when you'd hover over the person with your crosshair, but I don't know.
That makes sense too. So
I thought the icon would fare a little more well when it came to indication.
I think so, because then you're spotting an individual, whether it's light or day. Because if you have them in your crosshairs, you've spotted them 99% of the time, unless you just happen to be swinging that way and see a little blip on the screen. But if you have name tags turned on anyway, you might see that blip anyway. That's an even better idea, I think. even though the whole glowy effect is cool, and I'm sure Russian Caliber likes it, because he's head of the graphics and everything. But I do think a little icon would be better. So
how's the loot for you, Marcus?
Well, so the loot's been okay. Now I have to say that I haven't been playing nearly as much as I would like to, and that's just because I'm doing this Eve challenge right now, and that's taking an incredible amount of my time. But I can say that I've been out looting this week on private servers where no one else has access, a private server where several people had access, and public servers. And the super private server, I get really good loot all the time, and all I've been doing is farming meds recently. But I can get 8 or 9 meds from one med clinic on a very private server. When I leave it between 4 hours in between each run through, something like that. And on a semi public server, one that has maybe a dozen people total that have access to it, I would say that the loot's been about half in the same time range. And then public, you'll find 1 or 2 in the med center, if anything at all. And so as far as loot actually appearing, I've been happy with it. I mean, I created one account that is just nothing but looting meds, and you can hold quite a few in a large backpack.
Well, that's the thing that I've actually been looking at lately. I noticed that backpacks are spawning again, which is great. Food is really abundant. I understand why they do that for public servers. I think it should be toned down a little more for private servers, because then it's not really like a survival game. That's just my personal feelings. And
I know they're going to
meds
tone it down on the Stronghold servers when they come out.
Okay.
And also, that's just going to be... Go on, sorry.
Also, yes, it's okay. Meds are incredibly abundant as well. Like you said, I was picking up 10 antibiotics on one run just to clear your med center.
Right.
And then I'd check out the police station, find an M4, and I'd be fully geared, just log out.
Then you're ready to go.
pretty much.
Well, I do think that having a higher spawn rate of things makes for more intense battles. And the more intense the battles are, the more fun I'm having. So that's kind of my thought on that. Rather than it being so scarce and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like War Z's basically a copy of what is it, War Inc. Where that's basically a PvP game. So War Z 99% of the time is going to be PvP, not PvE, and it's just hard to get the balance and spawning stuff and all that.
Well, I like it the way it is myself. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Karma.
It's alright. I like the PvP in this game. The game has great hit detection. It honestly does. It's actually quite good for PvP, considering, you know, I'm playing on a 200 millisecond ping. I don't really notice that much of a difference compared to other shooters that I've played, where I have 50 millisecond ping and everything's all fine. But I've suggested numerous times on the forums that they should have more ways for characters to get experience by encouraging PvE. So I think, you know, rewarding 100 experience for bandaging a friend, sure, you could probably you know, farm for that, but just something that would allow the call for help system to actually have some sort of purpose other than saying, here's where I am, come kill me. I mean, the whole mission system, when I first heard about the game before it came out, I could imagine someone taking someone to a safe zone or evacuating them out of an area and getting, you know, experience or rewards, and I just haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. So, let's see here. I have not seen it. I have not picked up any weapons since the last patch. How's the brand new working?
It's alright, I guess. The whole brand new thing is sort of broken, in the sense that if you equip it to the first slot, it changes it from brand new to, I guess, used, or it shows the proper ammo count like it used to before. And when sorting your global inventory, if a gun is brand new or a gun has 30 bullets, it separates them. And that's just a bit of an issue, because you have to drag each one of your guns to a slot on your character to stop it from being brand new. And I think that's got a sort of a link to weapon degradation whenever that's coming out.
Okay, that's interesting. So I guess I'll get into that next time I am planning doing any combat. So I can tell you that with doing this other game challenge, I am having War Z withdrawal. I miss our big Saturday go around and gank everybody parties.
I used to enjoy watching those.
Yeah. So let's see here. Now, is guns do the brand new guns? Do they always have a certain amount in them, or is it
They have the
still random?
It's the full maximum bullet count. But if you were to pick up a weapon that has 12 bullets in it, it's not brand new.
Okay,
That makes sense.
so what is it when they say in the new editions here? I'm looking at what Cook posted. In the new editions, it says adjusted randomness of how much ammo there is in a gun when picking it up to be more realistic.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that a few times. Like I've been at the police station in like Clavey, and I've found a Jericho or a B92, and it's only got like 3-4 rounds in.
And so is it just that they're spawning guns now that are brand new and spawning guns that appear used?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense then. Because I was just thinking in my mind that it was all just one spawn, you know? So...
Yeah, no, a lot of the guns, when the whole random ammo count first came out, they were very low when it came to the number of bullets, and now it's had a huge increase. I don't think I find really any assault rifles with under half, maybe only about 10% of the time.
Good. So we've had a few more people join us here. Welcome, Mark and Brooke.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, how are you? I'm just trying to put my earphones in. Do excuse me.
Okay. So we also, let's see here.
Bingo. There you go. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Yeah.
Good.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
So they also are allowing items to be stacked in the general inventory. So can you stack guns now?
Yeah.
Empty guns.
Yes.
Empty guns.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can stack them with ammo as well.
Yeah, but do they all have to be the same amount of ammo?
Yeah, they have to all have the same amount of ammo.
Yeah. Well, can't you just pop out the ammo now and just stack, guns without ammo and combine your clips or whatever? So you could do a little bit of work and get everything ready.
Basically.
Okay.
I just wish they had a button that did it for you, even if I had to wait 5 minutes.
Were any of you affected by the rollback of the servers this week?
Yep.
Yeah.
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 And I can see why they did it. Pretty harsh move to roll back the server, but I can see with how much stuff was generated and everything, how drastic of an effect that could have on the game. So I have to say I agree with what they did.
Well, a lot of the people who abused the exploit last week, like $1 GC for 13,000, particularly they end up getting negative GC in the end. So now they have to buy a whole lot of GC at the full price to get back to zero.
Okay, so those people who bought. Okay, so I thought that there was more. Because
There was 2 exploits, yeah.
right, and so with so did they end up rolling that back as well?
Yeah, and then they made you have negative GC, so now you have to buy more GC to even buy anything from the marketplace.
And you lost all of those items that you.
Some people got their items confiscated. Because some people did it, and that's when the rollback happened. Other people were quite lucky, and they still have the items, and now they're selling it through the trading section to try and get their GC back. But
Yeah, I noticed people on the Skype chat was selling 5 C-Mags for an empty M4, and they were like, that's a rubbish deal, don't do that. M4s are easier to find than C-Mags. And then they just started saying, well, the store's just glitched, and I've got all these C-Mags for free. And they actually got all of the M4s and everything took off them. And I don't know if that was like, well, I got my M4s and like I didn't exploit the glitch, but I know my friend did, and he lost all of his guns and stuff, and his C-Mags.
Yeah, I know that one guy I know who's also a streamer. He was bragging that he had bought he bought enough gold that he turned around and ordered 6 servers for 6 months each with all the gold, and
Jesus.
I'm like, dude, they are so gonna hammer you for that, and he's like, dude, it's their mistake. I just I'm gonna take advantage of it. Oh, absolutely, it was their mistake, but at the same time, at the same time, it's theft when you know that it's not. at the same time, you know that it's not legit, that it's a mistake. So
Technically, there's no way to prove that, because there could be completely legitimately new players who just happened to pay through that service and thought it was that price.
that's true. And you can also, you just bought once and you were expecting to pay, $80 or whatever for that amount of gold, and it only charged you one, and you didn't really check too much about that. But the people who did it over and over and over again definitely were taking advantage of an exploit.
Yeah, there
Well,
was no need to do it more
can't.
than once.
You still can't prove it. I mean, if I went into a game and I saw that there were several items on the marketplace for such amount of GC, and I just happened to use that payment service, and I'm like, well, it's only $2, and let's say I want to fork out $10 worth, and it only lets you do it $2 at a time, you have to do it multiple times.
Well, and what if you walk up to like a Coke machine or something like that, and to buy a soda, and all of them are $1 or €1, which I know is a low price on those machines, but just for this example, and one of them you put in your buck, you hit the button, and it gives you 90 cents back and the soda that you're purchasing. And so then you're like, oh, hey, let's do this again, and you completely clean it out. Is that not theft or not taking advantage? Do you think that that's legit?
I wouldn't say
Well,
legit.
who's to say that the labels are correct in the vending machine?
Okay,
It's something that you have to...
So you put in your buck, and it said that it was 10 cents, and it was going to give you change, but then it takes your entire buck whenever you hit the button, and you're like, what the hell? I just got robbed of 90 cents. Is that
Or
is
the
it
other
okay?
way around.
Yeah, is it that that is the exact opposite, and then you feel gypped because it wasn't an exchange that was as expected. I don't know. I just maybe it's just my ethics and morals. When I'm at a grocery store and they hand me too much change back, this has happened to me a couple of times. I hand them back the correct amount of change. I correct them. I don't put the extra in my pocket and walk off. I correct them right there and give it back to them.
I think it's a little bit different when something like that happens, because numbers on your screen are really just a bunch of pixels, much like the price behind the glass of a vending machine is merely just a label. Now, I'm not saying that it's okay when you go to the shelves of your supermarket and you see something for $1 and you only pay 10 cents worth, for example. I definitely don't think that's okay, but how could it? There has to be a burden of proof somewhere to prove that was either a genuine mistake or it was a problem or an issue.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe I could rephrase that just a little bit and say experienced players who had bought from the marketplace before knew when something was wrong. And many of them knowingly took advantage of what they knew was wrong. I'm sure there were other people who didn't know that there was an issue and just bought once and said, wow, I've got great value for my money, and went out and bought some stuff and played the game. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Let's see. They fixed several bugs this week too, and boy, that noise is so annoying of people coming and going. I wonder how to turn that off. They fixed several bugs, stacking weapons, and then simple thing like spaces in chat removed sometimes. Is there, Sergey said that he was going to try and do one new thing a week. Was there anything that he put in this last week that he got put in?
Not that I know of, no.
No.
I didn't see anything either. So, oh, that's a great bug that they fixed. Fixed a bug when dropping a weapon, then picking it up again would result in the wrong ammo in it. Okay. Yes, my M4 is not going to shoot 22s. Not very well, at least. So, okay. So, now, did you guys see Sagor? That his dev diary talking about anti-cheat this week?
Yeah.
I've seen it, but I didn't have a full read of it.
I saw it.
Yeah, I read just a bit of it, and on one point, I'm glad that they're communicating with the public. On the other point, having battled people who are hacking and cheating so much with some of my experience with some of the commerce that we do, I thought, even though it seems like it's real simple information that they're giving away a lot to people who know how to use it. And so,
I think
go ahead.
I think hackers probably already know how the system works.
Well, but when you're a hacker and you've worked at it a bunch to try and figure things out, you have a pretty good concept in your head of how things are working. And then when you see things like this in writing, which are generalities, but are still talking about each one of these items, then it kind of like solidifies what you were thinking and says, I'm on the right path. Yes, okay, what I thought might be true, I now know is true, and everything, and it gives still gives an advantage. So I know though that it's a fine line between people who want and need more information so that they feel like they're being heard, as opposed to how much information do you actually give out, and how much of it can be used against you. So,
Well, we'll see in 2 months when the supposed new anti-cheat is brought forward to the War Z.
I would be thrilled if they can handle 90% of the cheating, with something that they're working on for the next 2 months. If they can just bam put something in and we can remove 90% of the cheaters, the game will be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if people go PvPing with ESP, it's not really an enjoyable thing to do because you know where everybody is. Like part of the excitement of PvPing is trying to find people and shooting them, not using ESP.
How do you guys feel about this guy?
Zero Infinity guy.
Well, Zero Infinity. Okay, what is Zero Infinity? Is he the ESP guy, the free ESP?
No. Which one? That Zero Infinity guy is the one you had the interview with.
Yeah.
Who said he took down the servers and everything.
Oh well, he's a DDoS attacker.
Yeah.
And so he was doing denial of service. There's another guy, Dark Linux, that has created this free ESP application, and he's not charging people to use it. He's charging people to be blacklisted on it. And a blacklist equals that you can't, you won't see another player. So like if they take the name Marky Dragon and put the name Marky Dragon on the blacklist, which I understand a lot of people have asked to be on this blacklist. I've talked to this guy, but I have not asked to be on the blacklist. I just want to make that clear. I didn't offer him any money or anything like that. But if you are on the blacklist, that that then the ESP program cannot be used against you. And I just think it's crazy, the whole thing.
I mean, if you don't want people to
look.
use ESP against you, why use it? Why give it away for free if you don't want it to be used against you?
Yeah, well, that's how
Because
he's
he's on
making
the
his money.
blacklist.
Yeah. So
I'd
if you're,
assume the developer would be on the blacklist. I don't think he'd release the program for free and then just say, go nuts.
right. Actually, he probably put, if he knows the character names of any of the devs, he probably has put them on the blacklist as well, so that they can't know when they're being targeted and stuff, and observe that.
I just think it's out of control. I mean, the whole fact that a free ESP program is out there.
But there's quite a
Just
few
runs.
free ones. If you're wanting to completely and utterly destroy the game, then people are going to give it out for free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the most recent one I've heard of is one called Raya, something like that. And basically what it does is it runs Warzy separately, but then it runs a hack over it, more like an overlay kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just stupid. At the end of the day, the more updates they bring out, it's just like evolution. The hackers are going to find easier and different ways to hack.
So here's something that that may blow your mind, and that is that that the creator of this free ESP hack says that almost all of the people who are popular on Twitch, who do really good on Twitch playing War Z, are using his hack. That's what he told me. And
Did he give you a percentage?
no, but he named off a bunch of names, which I won't rename any of them. But I was a bit surprised at what he was saying, and he was saying that that the way the broadcasting tools work and everything, you're able to bypass detection and use it while live streaming. And to me, that's, I don't know. I can see the temptation for sure of why you might want to use something like that so you could boost your stats and everything. But at the same time, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But that's just me, There's a lot of other people who I think probably sleep just fine at night and are using the hacks. I guess I just wanted to out that. And I'm not going to name any names. I won't say what percentages he said. But I was very surprised by what I was being told. So, and Fair Fight won't catch that one.
Yeah.
So,
well, all Fair Fight really does is if you get enough fair fights against you, it takes a screenshot and that goes for review.
Well, see, but the ESP stuff, it actually shows on the screen, where the location of somebody is and shows some information about them. And so you would think that it would catch that in the screenshot. But
it's like the one I was talking about earlier, the Raya, something like that. If it's running on a separate window over Warzy, they're not going to catch it because all they'll get is Warzy. And if you can bypass the one you were on about streaming and use the hack, then I doubt they'll be able to get that one either.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate even talking about this stuff because it gives them more attention, but I think at the same time that, I know that Hammerpoint watches these roundtables, and everything, and so they need to know what us as players are seeing and hearing, and how this all affects us, and we can't talk about that without talking about the fact that these things exist. You know, so
Yeah.
so I see the chat room is saying that you know, about pretending to not know how it works and stuff like that. Funny. Okay, well, I can tell you guys that that I'll be happy to stream with my second camera that sits up over my shoulder anytime. Turn that on anytime while I'm playing to show that it's not. I'm just as bad without the hack. Because I'm no stellar player, that's for sure. I just have to have a lot more bullets to get my kills.
What's your highest reputation or lowest reputation character, Marcus?
I think they're all neutral. I don't
They're all
have
civilians?
Yeah. I mean, I've killed other players and stuff, but actually, when we go out on those you know, big hunting trips, I may only get 1 or 2 kills in a day. And you know, even though we're out there for 8 hours, and while other people are going, there's number 10, there's 11, I just got 15, and I'm like, you know, I think to myself, damn, they're good, and but you can't tell whether or not they are, you know, hacking or not. I'm the first one to say, to come to their defense when somebody says that they're hacking. And because I do know that there are people who are very gifted at games, that just do amazingly well. So, you know, 10 times better than I'll ever do in the game. I know that exists. So, but for myself,
Yeah, I've got
you
an
know,
example of that.
you do. Are you really good or are you
Yeah.
bad?
No,
Oh, we lost him. He froze
Oh.
up. He was just about to tell us something good. Damn it. So, he's probably the kid who kicks our butt.
Let's assume that.
Yeah. So,
Did you want to? I don't know if you saw this, Marcus, but there was a thread about how the U.S. servers, and we can assume the European and the Russian, maybe not the Russian servers, but the European servers aren't actually hosted where they supposedly are supposed to be hosted. In particular, the U.S. servers, some have been found to be in the Netherlands.
I think it's all about, isn't it all though about ping and connection time? Because back in the day, back in '97 when we came out with the first massive multiplayer games, they named the servers by region. And so like in Ultima Online there was Baja, there was Chesapeake, there was Atlantic, and then there was like Drachenfels in Germany, and there was different Japanese servers and everything, and they were all named for their region. And that was so that you knew which server you really should be playing on, because you were going to get the best connection to that one. But these days, it's very possible to make very direct connects. And so, you know, even though most of the time, like you say, that you're playing on servers and you're getting a 200 millisecond ping, which is much higher than like I get between 35 and 50. By the way, Karma, you should check out What the Fast.
What the fast?
Yeah, whatthefast.com. WTFAST.com/Marky Dragon. I mean, I'm an affiliate there, so I get credit if you go through that link. But that application actually reroutes your traffic to a server, and it will take you it may go even more hops, but it will take you all on the shortest latency hops. And so you actually improve your ping when you're playing overseas by about 50%.
I think I need to go see that.
Yeah, so, and I'll put that in the description of this here. I don't know if they have it for the War Z or not, but I suspect that they do. There's so many games that they support. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, all I was getting at is that you could still be on the west coast of the United States and be playing in the Netherlands, because you could have a direct connect from, like, let's say you're in California and you go through a couple hops, you connect to San Francisco, which has one of the main internet hubs, which then connects to New York, which then connects directly to Netherlands, and then there's just a few more hops to the servers there. And it's not really such a big deal. Now, have you heard of people having problems with them, though, because of that?
Yeah, yeah. Some people get timeouts when they try to connect. Me in particular, I get a ludicrous larger amount of lag because I'm already disadvantaged with my geolocation. And, you know, putting me in a European server over a US one does not help.
Interesting. Well, so people, I imagine, are up in arms over that, or what's the outcome of this?
A lot of people saying that it's false advertising. You know, I personally have lost quite a lot of items just purely because I've lagged out and suddenly I'm getting hit by 15 zombies. It sometimes happens to me, not all the time, but when it does, I find it, you know, very frustrating, and particularly if I've spent GC on those items, I feel robbed.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's you know, something that they should advertise as a US server when it's a Netherlands one, if that is the case, and they should probably crack down onto that and fix it quick smart.
Did you ever think they might be doing it for security, so it makes it harder for hackers to actually get onto the server? Just a point.
Well, okay, let me put it this way: DDoS attacks.
I know what a DDoS
If the person knows what they're doing, if they know what they're doing, they're going to be able to take down both servers. You know.
Yeah.
If
the first
thing is
two
try as much as you
locations.
can, though.
The first thing that comes to my mind is that that in the two different regions we have different prime times of when the most players are on, and so Europe hits prime time before the United States, you know, 4 to 7 hours before, and so, you know, if they were, say, that during prime time, because there's not enough, say, US servers, that some people may start getting popped over to European servers to lessen the load, that might be an actual logical answer to what's going on. They're taking a backup role and taking overflow, which I wouldn't have so much issue with, you know, when things are really busy. But if it was a dedicated US server and it sits in the Netherlands and it's always causing problems, then that is a performance issue that they definitely should address. Or it should only be a very temporary solution because they don't have enough US servers or enough European servers or whatever.
Well, I'll use a very simple metaphor here. You don't buy a Coke and then, you know, get to drink Pepsi, do you?
Not on purpose.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, I order a Coke at a restaurant all the time, and it comes to me, and I'm like, what's this? They're like, oh, it's Pepsi. You know? But that's just because, like, here in the United States, all pop is Coke. Sometimes you go into a restaurant and you order a Coke, and they say, what flavor? And I say, root beer, and they say, right up. It'll come right up. So, just culture here. Third of the United States calls every soda pop a Coke. So, yeah. Okay, well, I think we're just about out of time for the show here, but have you guys got anything that we didn't touch on today that you think is really important that we should touch on quickly?
What do you think the vehicles about when they put them in? Because I know at the minute they're working on being able to drive the strikers and everything like that at like Clearview and places like that.
Really? So they are actually working on putting vehicles in?
Yeah, there's a video on YouTube. I'll try and find it.
Interesting. Okay. Because the last time that I talked, which has been a little while ago, last time I talked to Russian Caliber, he said that there was definite issues with vehicles, that they would lag out the people in the surrounding areas, and that the only vehicle stuff that I have seen recently comes from the hacked WarZ stuff that shows that there were actually vehicles in the game. So, is it something from an official source?
It's just lots of videos on YouTube, and they're all saying they're re-uploaded, but they're all the same video.
Yeah, I think that might be the map editor one or the other stolen code one, and but I could be wrong on that. But that's just my first thought, because Russian Caliber was pretty emphatic about that there were some very serious issues with it. That they had cars working, they could drive them around and everything, but it caused an enormous amount of lag for everyone that was in the area. So. Okay, well, I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you for coming to the show and for basically hanging out and discussing everything on about WarZ. And I look forward to killing all of you in the future next time I'm in game.
If I'm lucky, I might be killing you, Marcus.
Oh, we shall see. We shall see. You know what? It'd be really fun to have a duel someday. 10 paces and then turn around and fire. Just to have like one shot in our pistols or something like that. It'd be fun. We should do it. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much, and take care. Now that you've made it this far, can I interest you in another video? In the upper left right there, I am building a custom gaming computer. In fact, it's the computer that I use to record my gameplay. I get awesome frame rates. When I'm not recording, I commonly get 60 to 80 to 90 frames a second. But when I'm recording gameplay, and if you are someone who's recording gameplay, you could still get 30 to 40 frames a second even while recording gameplay. And for those of you who have actually tried recording gameplay, you know that that's important and that that's hard to do. So that series of building my computer is not for people who really know what they're doing. It's for people who have never built a computer before, and because I go through every detail all long and drawn out for someone who knows what they're doing, and we all learn a few things along the way. In the upper right is WarZ, and that's gameplay that I filmed on that machine. So right there you can see I'm taking out all the zombies that are coming at me. It looks like we're in Smallville right there. Smallville is a great town to try and hold and just kick everybody's ass. So much fun. On that particular video, you can see that we got 100 player kills and 2 hackers. We do these Saturday sessions where we try and hold these different towns and see how many players we can kill. Not zombies, players we can kill. And have a great time doing it. Do that with our clan, and there can end up being just a couple of us on the live stream or a dozen of us. We have a really great time. In the lower left, that is one of the live shows where Roman, Russian Caliber, called in. He's the art director of the WarZ, and he decided to let us know what the current status of things are, what they're working on, what's important to them, and talk about the artwork in the game. And then, the lower right, that is a hacker who has a personal message for Sergey, the CEO or the president or the leader of the WarZ. I'm not sure what his title is, but he believes that Sergey should be punished for taking our money and providing us the game in the state that it's in. And in fact, he is so upset about it that he is actually hacking the servers, bringing them down. Right there we're talking about when he took servers down one afternoon, and he threatens to take down servers again, which is in a follow-up video to that. And he proves how he's done it. And so it's an evil, evil world out there. And I can't agree with somebody wanting to hack the servers and take them down. In fact, it makes all of us players, lose access to the game. But he really wants to punish Sergey. And so there we have it. You get to hear everything that's on his mind, how he's taking the servers down, and why he's doing it. Enjoy this music on the way out. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.